Well, if you're the CEO of a cleaning company, I can imagine your Instagram is full of spotless floors and shiny countertops. But let's be real, your feed might need a deep clean too, including yourself. Maybe throwing a pic of you having fun, because who knew cleaning could be such a serious business? Or perhaps behind the scenes of you battling a stubborn stain. Just a thought. After all, a little humor might be the secret ingredient to make your posts less sterile.
It hurts, man.
Welcome to the Premium Mindset, the weekly podcast where homegrown entrepreneurs and business owners, Evan Richie and Cameron Bawden, share the good, the bad, and the ugly of modern entrepreneurship and reveal what really happens behind the scenes of their personal and professional lives. As owners of two of America's fastest growing and most disruptive companies, Coconut Cleaning and Green Mango Pest Control, stay tuned for real stories, struggles, insight, and advice from real entrepreneurs in real time.
In the 1% group, what I love about this group is the networking aspect of it. And in the group, we share podcasts, success, all the fun stuff, right? Someone mentioned an AI podcast, and I'm always looking for a new podcast to listen to. And on the way over here, I'm only 30 minutes into the podcast, but already I'm taking notes, and it's mind blowing, because if you really get to know how to utilize AI, I think that your life could change, but also your business. And I feel like if I'm rating myself on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst and 10 being the best, I feel like I'm maybe a 3 or 4 at using ChatGPT. But some of the things that they talk about on here to use, I want to do it on the podcast today, and just literally haven't done it before, just see how it goes, right? So in the first 30 minutes of this podcast, and we'll link it on here, I haven't finished it, but I can tell you the first 30 minutes is pretty good.
Can you, so I'm even confused. So it's a podcast that's all AI, it's AI people?
No, it's people talking it's like
AI?
A professional talking about AI and how to utilize it. He puts this sticky note on his computer and to remind him that, hey, every task he does, he says, how can AI help me with this task? That's his goal. Utilize everything for AI. I don't know if, it's dang, okay. But he gives 5 prompts of an agenda to use anytime you're using AI, right? So the first one is just the prompt itself. What do you want it to do? Hey, here's a P&L. I'm going to upload it. It's my carpet cleaning business. We've been in business for 8 years, and you're giving it context. So the prompt is upload information, give it context. Hey, 8 years carpet cleaning. We franchised 6 franchisees now. This is where we're at, blah, blah, blah. And you talk about it. The third one is you can have AI take on a role, which I didn't know this. You could say, hey, take on the role of Elon Musk.
That's wild to me. Yeah.
Take on the role of Tony Robbins, whoever, Joe Rogan, right? And I want you to interview me, ask questions as if you're this guy, or the top CEO of Pepsi, or whoever you want, whatever industry expert it is, right? And then interview. You ask ChatGPT, instead I use ChatGPT, I'm asking it questions, right? They're flip the script, have inversion thinking, interview me as if we're in a boardroom talking about my company and why it's not at a 30% margin, as if you're Elon Musk. Okay, you're prompting it. And then the task, what do you want it to do? Give me a roadmap of how to take it from 15% margins to 30% based off of this information. And then it knows if you're Elon Musk. And so literally it's wild. And he went through a couple examples that he did. And so one of the things that he did was he uploaded his P&L, told it who he wanted it to be, and just went through these 5 prompts. And so we could do it with Coconut. Coconut's always the guinea pig. We could do it with my brand. We could do it with, what do you want to do here?
Let's do Coconut.
You want to do Coconut? So the prompt, I'm going to take our latest sheet that you sent me, which is basically breaks down our profitability.
Job, yeah.
Okay. We're going to upload that here.
So you're using ChatGPT right now.
ChatGPT. Let's follow the framework here. So prompt. So what are we wanting it to do? It says, perfect. I'll review your Coconut Cleaning Co. profitability sheet and create a 90-day roadmap. I'll break it down like a boardroom strategy session with key financial questions, margin optimization, opportunities, and a tactical execution plan. I'll get back to you shortly with analysis and roadmap.
So what's the time frame that generally you think?
It'll be like a couple minutes.
That's wild.
So it's like loading right now.
So what I'd say here's important as that's loading is, one, we've invested all of our money back into the business. But two, our franchisees are all very profitable, which is super cool. And we've just had this ongoing battle at Coconut Phoenix to peel back the layers of, again, I'd say delusion of like, we put all of our money back into the business and it's like, no, what's actually going on?
I want to talk about like, oh, we're scaling for franchising. This is I love this. This wasn't all natural. Why can't we be profitable while scaling for franchising? If we had to ask ourselves that question and we gave the task to our team, how do we become profitable while scaling for franchising? If we had just that alone and we held our team accountable and held ourselves accountable, we could be.
You know the answer.
What?
Just put me in the game, coach. Like, that's it. X factor.
That's an excuse.
It's a reason. Here's the thing, is that we're going to peel back the layers, right? And we're gonna find all these little fallacies that we've been like living under, saying, oh, it's not that, it's not that. It's not about the excuses. It's just saying, how can we go about doing this? Here is a reason why we haven't done that. Mm-hmm. So that's what I look forward to this showing. Can I tell you something?
Do you use ChatGPT?
Every day.
Oh. Have you not prompted it like this?
No, not like that. But here's what I did do. I said,
what do you use it for?
Well, we could take a look at my history. I said, I did the roast me based off my Instagram.
You did that?
I did not like it.
What did it say? Read it to us.
I'll click on it. It said, well, if you're the CEO of a cleaning company, I can imagine your Instagram is full of spotless floors and shiny countertops. But let's be real, your feed might need a deep clean too, including yourself. Maybe throwing a pic of you having fun, because who knew cleaning could be such a serious business? Or perhaps behind the scenes of you battling a stubborn stain. Just a thought. After all, a little humor might be the secret ingredient to make your posts less sterile.
It hurts, man.
Oh, okay.
All right, so here's what I did. I took ChatGPT. I took our coconut profitability sheet. It lists out 18 items. It breaks down every single thing that gets taken out from our revenue. So if we start at $400, the chemical, the salesman, the gas, the insurance, all the things, and I gave it 5 prompts. The first one is just telling it what this is. Hey, this is our coconut profitability sheet. Give us advice on how to take us from 14% margins to 30%. Okay, that's the first one. The second one is just giving it context of who Coconut is. We've been in business for 8 years, etc. And then you give it a role. Hey, take on this role. We want advice from Alex Hormozi, right? And then ask us a question to better understand our business. So we, instead of us asking ChatGPT, we want them to ask the hard questions of what we need to understand about our business, as if Alex is asking us, and then create a task for it. So the task was, give us a 90-day roadmap to help us get to 30% margins. And it's about to go spit it out. It's almost done.
Give him like homework of creating 10 prompts that if he were an entrepreneur at a certain phase, this is what he would be prompting ChatGPT, and then like show what those prompts would show, like on social. He's like, if I were at a phase where I wanted to grow, here's how I'd use ChatGPT to help give me roadmaps. Because like I like what he's doing right here. I'm immediately going to go back and say, how can I maintain a culture of people contributing towards increasing top line revenue and breaking standards that we've always had.
Let's say like Tommy Mello, analyze, like take on the role of Tommy Mello.
I guess that's what I'd say is like,
because he's the expert
to me to know where it's getting all that information.
But if you tell it to take on the role of this person, hey, or create a boardroom. This guy says like, hey, I have a boardroom of Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. He didn't say Trump, but it's like, all of his people, and you four come together to ask me questions of, intriguing questions about my business.
No, but like, I just don't want him to lose touch with his people that are still in the trenches. And so I feel like a way for him, because like I'm learning right now, is like, how would Cameron think? Because I don't have the same knowledge. And so if I'm kind of a caveman entrepreneur and I don't make money, I know profit. Right. Like, how would Cameron dissect maybe those circumstances to create these prompts and do it for me? Because if there's a differentiator, or if there's one thing that I've noticed on the people that grow, it's the people that give. Like Alex Hormozi, a lot of the Instagram influencers that I watch, they give everything away. Like there's this one guy that talks about how you can record content and what AI softwares to use to make transcripts of your videos. Like he gives all his secrets away. And it's like, I follow him for it. Have I done much of anything he said? No, and he knows that. But I appreciate it because there might be a day where I'm like, man, I have 10 videos I want it to transcribe. Oh, I'm going to go to that something.ai and upload it into. And I feel like Cameron has all these nuggets to give, but you take it one step farther and say, I've done the work for you. If you are stuck or you don't know how to create a roadmap to get off of your van and be the owner you're supposed to be, here are some prompts I've created for you to put into AI. All you need to do is fill in the gap of what your specific industry is or something.
I love that.
Well, because I don't think like that, like what he was saying, especially with what he's learning too.
I like that.
So Cameron, 1 hour behind a closed door doing all that by himself, like he's going to come up with 30 things that are better than myself or Josh or anyone can come up with. Just like while we're in the trenches, it's like what I told you about Terrence.
Yeah.
He's just like, I can't even like think about that kind of stuff because I'm so busy. Well, it's like you're above the noise right now with this customer base businesses. So it's like, what are some prompts that you would use if you were in my position that I can't currently think of because the chatter is just too much? Because at the end of the day, the work is still up to me, but I appreciate him giving me the tool of putting that prompt in there.
I wonder if we could put Cameron in ChatGPT, replace Alex Hormozi.
So that's what I'm saying. Is like, I don't know where it gets it. Does it get it from like the podcast he's been on? Like,
it scrubs the lyrics.
Wait.
All right, here we
Create
go.
a website for Cameron, because Kate's doing this for Coconut. She has an AI feature creating blogs. It's wild. So it creates like 10 blogs and attaches it to our website, so it keeps keywords and everything in there. It's like if you were to take all of Cameron's like podcasts and take transcripts and just say like make blogs based off of my previous business podcasts, and now you have AI just like combing through Cameron because it's out there more.
I love that, man. Are you ready for this?
He's like back to like why coconut sucks.
It says reaching 30% profit, margins 90 days, strategic roadmap, right? So the first one is CEO, investor, diagnostic questions. What's killing our margin? So this is the first question they have. Where is each dollar going? Identify the biggest cost bucket, labor, marketing, overhead, etc., and ask why are they so high relative to revenue. So that's the first like question. Are we priced right for value? Which that came up, like, hey, are we still top tier? And the feedback was, we're not like top anymore, but we're not at the bottom. We're probably in the middle. Is that where we want to be? So that's interesting. And it just says, when was the last time we raised prices? Are we charging less than we could be given our service quality and demand? Pricing is the fastest way to boost profit if we're undervalued. How efficient is our labor? That's crazy because we started tracking average service times for Coconut, and some guys were on average 4.5 hours a job and some guys were there for 2 hours. So there is inconsistency there.
But as someone that's paid money to sit at Alex Hormozi's feet and listen to him, like this is like stuff that he goes over. Productivity per employee is his thing.
Yeah. What percent of each job's revenue goes to technicians' pay, and are they producing at full capacity? Are jobs taking longer or using more staff than necessary? Which costs are truly fixed? What?
The hour, is that what it just said? Like the time completion of a job?
It says what percentage of each job's revenue goes to technician pay, and are they producing at full capacity?
That's literally what James has been harping on about the 2.5 hours. We need to get down to 2.
Are jobs taking longer or using more staff than necessary?
Turn it off. It knows too much.
Which costs are truly fixed? Scrutinize every overhead expense, office, management salaries, software, etc., which you went through softwares, but there's office, management, which can be trimmed or optimized. Are we carrying any nice to haves that don't contribute to the bottom line? Next question.
One question? So that's the Alex Hormozi question.
These are like the boardroom. If we were standing in a boardroom and we're saying, hey, help us get to 30%, and he analyzed just this one, this is just based off of this one sheet, these are the questions he would ask. So the next one is our marketing ROI positive? Are we acquiring customers at a reasonable cost, or are we overspending to get each $329 job? Which channels are pulling their weight? Can we double down on referrals or repeat customers to lower acquisition cost?
It's just areas, referrals you've been harping on, because for Green Mango, for almost all of its years, referrals was in the top 5 contributing sources for marketing. And Coconut, I think it's only recently top 10, but it's probably been 11 through 15, not because of any other reason other than like we just haven't been doing the same things that you were so adamant about to get referrals.
Where are the leaks in the bucket? Do we have unbilled hours, wasted fuel, idle technicians, or scope creep on jobs that inflate cost? Any operational inefficiency is a margin killer. We need to find and fix the leaks fast. Do we have unbilled hours, wasted fuel, idle technicians, or scope creep on jobs that inflate cost? Scope creep, what is that?
I don't even know what the second word is. Creep?
Yeah. CREEP. Or scope creep on jobs that inflate costs.
Scope creep in project management refers to the gradual, often uncontrolled expansion of a project's scope beyond its original boundaries. Interesting. So it's like we want to start the air duct department. We anticipate that we need to buy this machine for 10 grand and then it's going to bring in this much. But like we didn't know over the last year, as we started putting more money into the air duct cleaning department and as we started giving away more, it's not bringing in the exact amount in the actual machine that we've had to pay for. We've now had to pay for 2. And it just wasn't its original, it wasn't what we originally hoped for. So like a scope of work is original, and then the scope creep is like all the unanticipated things that came in over time that made it not what we thought it'd be.
Okay.
Wow.
How does each franchise perform? Among the 6 franchisees, who is hitting decent margins and why? What are others doing wrong? Are there best practices from the 3 franchisees over 1 million revenue that we can standardize across the network? I mean, that's our biggest challenge right now at Coconut, right? It's just a standardized system of how to do everything.
Yeah,
Are we tracking the right metrics? Do we have real-time visibility into job costs, gross margins per job, and per franchise? We can't improve what we don't measure. Ensure we have a dashboard for key profitability metrics, labor percentage, marketing percentage, etc. of revenue. Thank you, Alex. We go over the numbers in the morning. We don't need it automated. These questions force us to uncover blind spots in Alex Hormozi style. We're being brutally honest about the business. No vanity metrics, just cold hard facts about where money is made or lost. Key financial observations. Cost breakdown of a typical 329 service job. Note that technician pay and marketing are the biggest individual cost components, with overhead expenses collectively consuming the rest. barely break even. Right now, the company is essentially at break even. On an average of 329 job costs are about 327, leaving a profit of roughly $1.50. That's a net margin of 0.5%. For context, most cleaning businesses aim for around 10 to 28, net profit and average about 6% in practice. We're well below industry norms, which is alarming for an 8-year-old business. Cost consuming 99% of revenue. The expense breakdown shows why margins are nil. Technician labor alone is about 19% of revenue, $63 per job. Marketing is another $17, $55 per job. Sales commissions likely paid on each job take 11%. It breaks down all the things, eat up the rest. Essentially, no single cost is outrageous, but in some, they devour nearly the entire 329. The profit slice is a sliver. So we know the technician labor of $63 is, I don't know, even at 2 hours. That's interesting. Low gross margin. Even at the gross margin level, we're underperforming in service business. A healthy margin is 80%, meaning direct costs should only be 20% of revenue. Our direct costs, technician pay, job supplies, fuel, commission tied to jobs, are far above 20%, likely closer to 50 or more of revenue.
So here's what I just learned as an entrepreneur. One, I'm drastically underutilizing AI. So we'll put those prompts out there. But I think the biggest takeaway I'm getting from AI and what you shared is not to use it as a higher form of Google, meaning, hey, show me how I can get to 30% profit margins, but you can go 5 layers deeper in the applications of the roadmaps that you ask to take, as well as the specificity in which you ask for is all predicated on the questions that you ask and the context you give it, which is crazy to me. You don't need to read anymore.
This says raise price strategically. We must stop undercharging. Even a moderate price increase, say 10 to 15% on our 329 average ticket, would add $33 to $50 of pure margin per job.
Yeah, but the guys get paid on those on that margins. You have to create some stopping point.
What we should do is cue it like, hey, here's our technician pay scale. Here's this, and that.
You could say whatever, if we're going to increase our prices 10%, you can say we're going to pay you on revenue minus 10% times your commission percentage.